Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy, this is such a comfy bed. It really is lovely, and just got back from Honfleur, which is over there, and at the end of this video I'll do a little tour of Honfleur. Well, it's not really a tour, but bits and bobs of what we saw today. Didn't film everything. It's just boring to you know, film everything. But we are now back. We've had a little bit of lunch with some friends, and now I have a cup of tea that I've made, and put that on there. Gary has gone downstairs to have a drink in one of the bars, and well, you kind of just probably centre court. I did show it to you before, and yeah, just wait for me basically. So it didn't rain, which is good. It was overcast. It was you could see brighter skies in the distance, but it was getting gloomier and gloomier where we were. And Gary said it's going to rain, and it didn't, thank goodness. But well, it might have after we left, but I don't think so. We went into a church. I did film it, but I turned it off, and then we lit candles and had a little sit down and you know, did our stuff, and then we spent way too much money on expensive nothing basically. And I just can't believe how expensive everywhere in the world is. Well, everywhere in the world that has the euro. Since they had the euro, the prices rocketed overnight. I can remember when we were kids, we would go to Spain and it would be cheap. Everybody would say how much cheaper it is, and how drink was cheap, and how everything was cheap. And then all of a sudden the euro, and it's like same price as the UK now. Now it's more expensive than the UK, and you know, that's the same everywhere. Although France was always dearer, even back then it was dearer in France to buy anything than it was in Spain. Spain was ridiculously cheap in the time. So it just makes you think, was getting into the euro ever a good idea for any country? And we never got in it, thank goodness. We kept the pound, but it certainly hiked every single price of everything all over Europe. Anyway, let's not dwell upon such things, but yeah, we did spend quite a bit on rubbish basically. Things that, you know, you'd go in a shop in the UK, buy a few crackers to eat with your cheese, and it would cost you, you know, a couple of pounds at most. Not there. Going all pick and mix is expensive, but you know, we can buy a bag full, or maybe about 6 bagfuls for what we've just spent on a couple of small bags of pick and mix sweets, which I probably won't end up eating. I guess Gary will eat all of them. He'll eat all of his, and then he'll eat all of mine, because I very rarely eat it. I might have the odd jelly, you know, and the rest will be Gary, really. But oh, and I bought a glasses case. I didn't bring it to show you, but I should have, really, I suppose. It's got poppies on it, and it was kind of a D-Day. I did nearly buy a bag actually, and it wasn't a bag like a handbag. It was a big kind of handmade wicker with flowers on. When I say wicker, but soft, and the top they'd put a liner, and so you could pull the drawstring, and it had an opening like this, and I thought perfect for putting your yarn through and using to crochet or knit or anything. But then I opened the bag and it wasn't lined, and so the yarn would catch sorry, I went dry. Yarn would catch on all those little bits of wicker that stick out. It wasn't, you know, when you get a really hard wicker bag, it wasn't like that, but it was definitely had ends sticking through, which would have caught the yarn and unraveled so much of it. So I didn't buy it in the end, but it was reasonable when you consider as well some of the smaller ones were nearly as much, but this was a big one, and I thought that could actually put quite a lot of yarn in there, and a big project that you could get in there and take it out and about, and then pull the top closed, and you've got this opening for your yarn, and you could then crochet and it would be, but if only she'd lined it, it would have been perfect. But Gary said you could make a lining yourself, and I thought, I would be buying it. Would I need to line it? I mean, I could have done, but still, I didn't see the point in buying something that I've then got to work on. So I'm sorry if my face is a little darker than the rest of me. I had to close this curtain here because it was really over bright, and I was glowing like I'd radioactive, basically. So I had to close that one off and put some lights on to give it a bit of illuminate. But it is so much better than when I first started here and filming, although it's making this part of me look very white, so it kind of looks bigger than it is. I seem like I feel like a giant neck. So today for you guys is Monday, I think, because is it Sunday? Yes, it is Sunday, because the wool shop was shut. The only shop that sold yarn was shut, but I had it on good authority that it was expensive anyway, so it saved me. But guess what we've got today? We've got a Grogu today. Yes, we got Grogu. So that's 2 on the bin, and I can't read that. Didn't bring my glasses. Do I have? Yes, got my other phone here. It says yes, 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 and that was IG12. I like that robot, but yes, 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 yes. So yes, indeed, that is the picture. Let's see what we got for joke. Let's. Is it going to be a rude one? Even knowing Gary, it's a possibility, guys, isn't it? Really. What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece of hair stuck between his front teeth? Gladiator. Glad he ate her. Gary, really? That's so not. He said to me they weren't rude ones. He lied. Who's the most popular guy at the nudist colony? The one who can carry a cup of coffee in each hand and a dozen donuts. Gary, he's a naughty girl. Naughty man. I did bring the I'll tick them off in a minute. I did bring it, but I can't find it right now. Let's turn that spotlight off for a drain the battery, although this one does actually have a really good battery, this phone. Anyway, got the news on over there because I thought we've been away for the last 5 days. This is the 4th day, and someone showed us, we made some friends, a couple of deaf friends actually, Brenda and Chris, and he showed Gary his phone about the flooding in England. Well, sorry, Wales. I always think of England as the whole thing was Britain. You know, that's just the arrogance of the English, isn't it? I guess. But anyway, yeah, didn't even know about it. So, and the only news that I've seen, the only headlines I've seen is Trump going to sue the BBC, and another money-making scheme. I don't know. We're just throwing money at the man. Anyway, so that's the only headline I'd seen, and so yeah, didn't really have a clue what was going on in the world. So we figured I'd put that on, have a little glance now and then, and just read the subtitles, the headlines or whatever, and catch up with a little bit of current affairs. But you know, when you look at it and you see that it's all about doom and gloom and misery, you just think, why did I bother? I should have stayed blissfully ignorant anyway. So but we've got a little bit of bad news, because after we'd bought cheese, Gary bought a garlic gouda and I bought a little gouda. After we bought this cheese, we then got back and they put a note on our table that said due to the it's illegal basically to take back any dairy products or meat products from any other country, any of the countries in Europe, because we've banned them because of foot and mouth, which we don't have. And I've not heard of massive cases of it anywhere in the world. So if I eat cheese then while I'm on holiday, am I not still going to be taking foot and mouth back home? I can't ban people from eating cheese. So what is the actual difference of me bringing some cheese that I've bought, even if it's packaged and, you know, and I'm bringing it home? I will have still eaten that same cheese. So it's for consumption, not spreading on the land. So if I eat cheese, can I not bring back foot and mouth anyway? So I just don't understand. I really don't understand the law sometimes. It makes it. I've been eating cheese on this ship. I could have gone into a cafe just now and ate loads and loads of cheese, but I could have brought foot and mouth back to the UK then, couldn't I? Because I've consumed it, which is all I'm going to do with the cheese that I got in Holland, you know. So yeah, a bit cheesed off about that. Sorry, hang on. I'm a bit cheesed off about that. It's a bit much, isn't it, really? I said, why could they not have put that through the letterbox or on the table before we docked anywhere, and so we didn't feel the need to go buy cheeses? Mad. £5,000 fine if you're caught smuggling meat products or dairy back home again. I'll just have to consume it and smuggle it back in my belly. Same thing. Don't get it. Just don't understand. I mean, it's not like I'm going to a farm and smuggling a cow, is it? Or a goat. It's a block of wrapped cheese that's been manufactured. And never mind. It's just bizarre. It is one of those weird laws. Anyway, enough of that. It's crackers. Hang on, I don't need to do that manually. It's just crackers. It is cheese and crackers. So we went to Borough Market for our lunch, the place that I'm not really keen on. And I had roast beef with a few roast potatoes and some gravy. And I did get a Yorkshire pudding, but gave it to Gary. And then I had some gluten-free creme caramel and fruit. I have eaten so much fruit on this trip. Yeah, true, I have. And I guess my diet has been extremely healthy all the time I've been here, really, because if, you know, breakfast cereals, fruit, yogurt, and eggs with bacon, which isn't bad. And most of the food that I've eaten has been like sliced meats. I've chosen the, you know, the meat and veg option every time. So when I can. Last night I had a lamb shank. It was very nice. So much of it. So yeah, been quite a healthy kind of diet. And the food is always good on this ship. Even at Borough Market, it's still good, but it's not kind of the way I like to eat. I prefer sitting at the table. No, you sit at a table, but there it's more of a buffet. So you sit where you can, and you know, you go queue and then you bring it back, and then you go queue, get a pudding if you want it, and then you come back. And you're lucky if you don't have to share your table with other, you know, strangers. That's not a problem really, because everyone's really nice. But when you go to the other restaurant, you have a designated table, and that's where you sit every time. So I prefer that, you know, myself. But we're all different, because I was talking to someone earlier that prefers when they go on a cruise to have it's kind of like what did they call it? I can't remember what the term he used was, but basically it means you just sit where you like every time with different people. But with this, it's structured. You have, that is your table is, say, when we were here before it was 100, now it was 88, and we always sit with the same people every time, and you know, you strike up a little friendship with those people, so it's nice. But I prefer that. So I can't remember what he called it now, but there was a term, like, not wild dining, that's something completely different I guess. But anyway, so we're home tomorrow. It seems weird really that it's almost over, because it, you know, it felt like quite a lengthy trip, even though it's not been. And I said to Gary, it's strange because all of a sudden it's over, and you feel like there's a long while, and then it's over. There's not been a long while. So yeah, it'd be strange getting back to normal. I've got a lot of washing to do when I get home and all of that stuff. My tea might have cooled down now. Cheers, guys. Biscuit tea, of course. I did bring it with me. Ah, and I've been stocking up on tea bags. You'd be pleased to know. So yes, I have quite a few for my orders now. Just for always, if I can, grab a few bits of tea, so that, you know, I've got tea for people that place orders. Yeah, fruity ones and all that sort of thing. Yeah, do what I can. Got to be done. Got to be done. They're freebies. You know, who doesn't love a freebie? So, we're going to pop out to dinner later on and meet up with friends again for a drink afterwards. But might not. The show last night was okay. It was West End musicals. It was a bit loud, and it was only a bit loud because there was a few of them where everybody was singing a different thing at the same time. So I found that tad chaotic and very, very loud. So the seat was a tad uncomfortable to sit there for that length of time as well. So and it was very hot because of so many people watching in that big auditorium that I filmed. So I was really glad to get out in a way. And so we sat and had drinks with friends until kind of we went to bed. Oh, I guess we'll do that again tonight, but I'm not sure that we'll go to the show. It would be good for me because it's a comedian and magician, and I will hear everything, but Gary won't, and the friends we've made definitely won't hear any of it. So it'll just be boring for them. 5 magic tricks and they won't hear anything else. So we'll probably give that a bit of a miss. There is bingo. I haven't been once because we have our first sit-in for our dinner, and I always feel like it will be, I don't know if it will still be going when we should be getting back for dinner. So yeah, I've given it a miss, but I'd quite like to actually go and do it. Doing all the old dear stuff, you know, knit and natter and bingo. Oh my God, I feel old all of a sudden. And you're supposed to say, no, you're not, Trace. Of course, don't be silly. Anyway, I'm gonna get off. Have I done my thingy? Yes, I have. I've finished all my jobs. So, and I'm gonna upload all of this this walking tour thing I did today, just walking around, and show you Honfleur. And I've got to do all that as well, so it'll take time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. The next time I do one of these, I'll be home, I think. Yeah, I will. See you soon. Bye for now. Ah, bonjour. Welcome. Willkommen? No, that's not even French. Anyway, we are in Honfleur. That was our shuttle bus that brought us here. So yippee for shuttle buses. And here we are in the picturesque little village of Honfleur. We are right by the water, and there is a few little kind of boat trips and stuff here. But as you can see in the distance there, well, it's not really distance, it looks it, but that is the old kind of village of Honfleur, and there's lots of history here. Famous painters and stuff were born here, and there are museums and things. So I've got to negotiate these cobbles and not fall over on the video, which will be, you know, a different kind of video really. But we've just seen across there, just walking, that's the couple that we have dinner with. Always on the same table, Roger and Marlene. yeah, very nice. And yeah, so it's a fishing village apparently, Honfleur. We could have done some excursions. We could have gone to see all of the World War II Normandy beach landing places and the bridge that's now called Pegasus Bridge after Pegasus units that landed and all of that, but we decided against it. So it was very foggy this morning. It has lifted. It's crazy really because the really good weather was on ship, but it's not cold. I'm wearing a coat and I wish I wasn't. So it isn't cold, it's just a little gloomy, but at least the fog has lifted. So we're going to go explore a little bit, and if there's anything to show you guys then I will film. But lots of restaurants so far, all fish of course, fruits de la mer. Yeah, but we just had breakfast, so not even thinking about food. But it's Sunday here in Honfleur, so the chances are that many shops will be closed, although I can see some lights on of shops, so possibly not, might be okay. You can hear the church bell dinging in the distance, which is very nice. And well, as it is cobbled and I have to watch where I'm going, I'll pause it now and I'll see you if there are things that I want to show you. Okay, bye for now. So we were there and now we've just crossed the road. Incidentally, zebra crossings don't work the same way as they do at home. You step on them and they don't stop, they just carry on. So I knew that from when I was a child. So we've got this square and a marina which looks very picturesque, and I should imagine it's mostly cafes. We've got the Hotel de Ville and Boiteau, yachts. I don't know what that is. I think it probably is yacht, maybe. Oh, that's very old. Look at that. Quite lots of. We do have a little history, but it's very small on the back of a map. So there are museums and stuff to look at if we want to go. But I kind of want to just walk around the marina for now and see what's what around here. We shall see. But for now, it's very pleasant. We're going to be in search of a fridge magnet from Honfleur, because we always seem to get one wherever we go. But I think they've got one at the port anyway. So lots of nice launches, boats, yachts, and there's a nice one over there. Sailing yachts even. Anyway, I'll come back to you when I have some more things of interest. If I do have things of interest, that is. So this is the Musée de Marine. Very, very old building. So Roger, who we have dinner with, is a Michelin guide, and apparently that very, very old building there was where the King's Lieutenant lived. And there's this a bit up the top. If I can find my finger, it's around. Where's my finger? Oh, too big for you. Up the top part is the old battlements apparently. So yeah, lots of history. Histoire. Oh, very unsteady on feet. But yeah, that is very, very old. Do you want to go in the Musée de Marine or Musée de la Marine?
I don't know if you're allowed in there.
I think it's open, isn't it? So next to the Musée de la Marine, look at this. Really old little cobbled street with very, very old buildings with eaves, and the restaurant Les Vieux Honfleur. So yeah, parody. Very, very, very slippery cobbles. But wow, how old. This reminds me of parts of London where you do still see kind of Tudor buildings with the beams and the eaves. But this is so, well, picturesque, I guess. And foreboding at the same time, don't you think? Like, wow, I'm going to see what's at the end. More of the same. More little tiny, look at this. I can go have a little peep in here. I've got aviary, and we can see that structure there, and there's the aviary. Hear the birds and cooing and tweeting. Wow, so old. Even older than me, guys, even older than me. The Musée de Vieux Honfleur. Ethnographie Art Populaire. Yeah, one of those. But obviously you pay to get in it. It's not open yet anyway. Neither was the other one. So we shall negotiate these couples out of here without filming. For obvious reasons. So this is a picture on the side of the building of all of the famous people born in Honfleur, because I remember seeing Eric Satie, and there is also someone else, Baudin, Monet, Francois Sagan, I don't know who that is, but yeah, I recognise some of those names. Well, that's kind of sweet. Lots of very, very old buildings, but we're approaching a bit of a newer part, and just have a little wander around. More couples. Just behind the road that we were walking down, so obviously they've got some Christmas lights, or what should we say, holiday lights these days, up there that will obviously come on a bit later. But we've got kind of picturesque little road. There are a few shops open, but they are clothes and things like that, but winter coats and stuff. And across the road there are some pretty interesting buildings and architecture, very different from home, but not much to really write home about just yet. So I'll keep walking. Interesting shop. Want to buy a gun, telescope, wanted dead or alive poster, diving bells, and old ships. Yeah, and the other side of the door, knives everywhere, and all kinds of knives, and fishing supplies, marine supplies. Well, that's different. And then very interesting bucket hats, like PVC, keep the rain off your head, and helmets, gloves, and not as pretty as my mannequin, I have to say. Joan is a darn sight prettier than Mademoiselle Bijou. Indeed, Madame Bijou. Yeah. Anyway, no yarn shops so far. This is kind of a pretty street. It looks busier than it is here, because this happens to be, I think, the major road through. As you can see, a few cars coming, but I think mostly the shops along there look as if they might be closed. It does look nice though, and it looks like at night would be pretty because it's all going to be lit up. But one thing I have to say is there's nowhere to buy yarn in this whole town, so it's definitely a not place to visit, guys. I would say that you avoid Honfleur unless you don't care. But no, I did Google. I googled where can I buy yarn in Honfleur, and apparently it's more like near Normandy, and it's closed. So you know, not crochet friendly, but this is quite attractive. Mostly the things that are open are food, you know, whether it's cakes or tacos and what's the word I'm looking for? Tapas, things like that. Other influences, and the odd bakery. That's it. Artisan, pretty food that I can't eat because I don't have gluten, so did not partake of any of it. But it is quite attractive here, if not yarn friendly. So one to be missed, guys. You're joking. It's quaint, it's nice. It would be probably busier on a Saturday than a Sunday, but there's not much here really. It is lots and lots of seafood restaurants, as you might imagine. Got a souvenir in one of the shops, but mostly, other than food, the shops that are open are all clothes, and not really my thing, you know. Not when you consider that for €40 we could have bought a really nice pair of socks. Yeah, decided to give those a miss. Anyway, next time, let's just see what's down this little road here first, which cars cannot go down from this direction, but we'll see if it's pretty, because it looks like it might be, and it leads to more shops, so we will go down here. Say bonjour, Gary.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? So yeah, we will just venture down here, and I'll come back to you if there's stuff to see. Okay, catch you shortly. This place really reminds me of Brighton, going down the lanes. Lots of old buildings, but and some of them are very picturesque, and little tight roads. There's been some very, very tight roads, kind of old Tudor style. There is apparently a shop that sells some yarn. Won't be open till gone 2, and are very expensive apparently. But then when you just buy some crackers to eat with cheese, and they were, let me see, how much did we spend on crackers? About £14 on 2 little bags of crackers. So how much can the yarn be, I wonder? But yeah, a bit on the dear side, but some things are not. But it is very quaint and oldie here, so I might have my little stick set too far, but we'll crack on. We'll have a little wander down here and see how I feel later on, if I want to find out about this shop after 2 o'clock. It depends if we're fed up with walking around by then and we go back to the ship, or what. But the shops are very different to ours. That's all this is a gallery, but yeah, they are very different. All I can say is, no wonder when people come to the UK, they stock up their cars and shop like crazy, shop till they drop, because everything is, twice the price. And yeah, I can understand why they go crazy for the UK shopping. I shall look at my home shopping in a different light. Anyway, what's in here? Let's have a look. More food, I think. Pastries, perhaps, and chocolate. Oh, we did buy some pick and mix though. That was £20 for 2 very small bags of pick and mix sweets, which I know for a fact Gary will eat them, not me, even the ones that I picked. Anyway, we're going to go in here and see how much this costs and what they sell. Catch you shortly. So these are the chocolate mussels at the end there, and we've got up here, we've got all of this, and there's Gary looking posh, and more chocolates, and just sweeties and chocolates. What's that? Just truffles?
Truffle.
And over here, wow, lots of goodies, and they had some beautiful kind of little cakes over there, very small, but as much as I'd love to try them, I know that it wouldn't do me any favours. You can get about what's that, €30 roughly for a kind of a selection of all of their sweeties. So yeah, there you go, a French artisan chocolate shop. So over here, these are little cakes, and they're very sweet. Look at that, very cute. Wouldn't mind, but got a feeling that if I did, I would regret it later on when the stomach cramps started. But look at that, how cute. Okay, enough goodies for one day. So we're in another little kind of square. Well, it's a triangle actually, but we've got a very, very old building down here. Lots of galleries, lots of chocolate and biscuits and drink. But lots and lots of money too. Very expensive place to shop, to be honest. I think the whole of Europe is. I'm quite surprised, and I noticed wherever you went in Europe, once they all went over to the euro, all of the prices more than doubled. It used to be cheap to go to Spain and when they had the peseta, but all of a sudden when they got the euro, it was crazy. Now this is the oldest sort of wooden church apparently, and because when the Germans came, the harbour filled up with silt. They didn't like to stop here, so consequently this place never got bombed, so that's why there's so much history still here. And that is a very old church. Apparently they still do mass and everything, so it's still in use, but very quaint, picturesque here. Will look gorgeous at night with all this icicle lights everywhere, dripping in lights. So shame we can't see it, but we will be gone by then. They will have gone without us if we wait to see the lights. I don't think I fancy that, being stuck in Honfleur. If you imagine a small amount of pick and mix sweeties cost £20, how much would a room be? Oh, just want to stay the night, don't want to buy the place. But there you go, I shouldn't really complain. We're on holiday, but still. Yeah, it's not even yarn, goodness gracious. So, very pretty. And another square, guys. I think we're lost now, actually. I think we lost it. Oh, we can go inside. I'm not sure I'll let me film in there, but we'll have a little nosy until I'm thrown out. So that should be beautiful. There's people taking videos and pictures, so we will continue. We will continue on. We met the people that saw at the Knit and Natter, and they couldn't come in earlier because there was mass going on. So they haven't been in here. Didn't get to see it. But very old. Look at this. Let's see if we can see the ceiling without falling off. And over here, it's very old. When you're abroad, guys, or visit in areas, do you like to go in the churches and have a look and see what they're like? I can talk because I have my microphone on, so I can be quiet. And lots of people lighting candles. Apparently Gary's seen an organ. Let's see. Up there, the church organ. Yeah, you imagine, it's not the right church, but can you imagine the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Or maybe I'm just a fantasist, I don't know. I'm going to stop filming now. I'll see you later, guys. Okay, so this is the outside of the Church of St. Catherine, which we was inside of, and we're going to go down and see a little beach, apparently, if we can find it. I don't know how much of a beach it will be. We are near Normandy, and so there was a excursion. We could have gone to see the beaches of Normandy, Juno Beach and all of the others where we D-Day landings took place, but we didn't want to do the excursion, so we didn't. And but apparently there is a beach down here, so we're going to have a little wander, and I will show you. There's also this little alleyway that leads to another road, very 39 steps ish. So anyway, I'll close this off for now, and hopefully there'll be something worth showing you on the beach. Well, I don't think it's a beach as such as a harbour, perhaps. I don't see any beach in the true sense of the word beach, but we'll cross over and see what we can see. I don't see our ship. Well, say our ship, I mean, we could actually see it when we got off our coach in the distance, but I don't see where we got off the coach. It's got to be around here, surely. Over there with that hut. Well, it looks a million miles away. It isn't there. It's got to be there, surely. That must be where the other side, because that's the square where we first crossed, I believe. Yeah, Hotel de Ville. So yeah, it is. It's just a bit busier, and this is the other side. So far, we have not found a fridge magnet. I've left Gary looking in the shop across the road, and we're going to go have a look in a second, see if we can find one, because we always get a fridge magnet. There he is. And then there's more harbour, which we've walked all around that square, all around the church, so we will perhaps venture up that road soon to see if there is any yarn, but I'm not holding my breath really. So we're just going to pop over there and see what fridge magnets they have, and well, there's not really much else to see, I don't think. I think we've done it all. So we could have done a little boat trip, but I think we did enough boat trips, and we're on a big one. And just in the distance there's our ship. So I've found it, but we just decided to go for a little walk along here. I don't know if there is any beach at all, to be honest. I've not seen one, but this is where you have promenade en mer. And there's lots of little bistros along this road here, and yachts. Open space is what there is, wide open space. And of course, if it was a lovely sunny day, it would look picturesque and beautiful, but those clouds look ick. I don't think it's going to rain. It looks a little kind of clearer ahead. Oh look, a cougar. We have a cougar, but not a French one. A cougar. Le cougar. Well, whereas ours is just a cougar. Yeah. I have a little story about it. I had this French student once. Her name was Florence, and her sister Sophie came over, and I picked them up, and I said, we need to go this way and get taxi. And they looked at me as if I was speaking Swahili, and I said, bagage, taxi, and they looked at me again as if I was speaking Swahili. So I said, I beckoned them, come, and we walked along, and then there was a taxi cab, and they went, le taxi. I thought, that's what I said, but because I didn't say taxi, they didn't understand a word of it. Well, taxi and taxi, but there you go, they didn't understand a word. But if I'd have obviously gone ee at the end, then they might have understood me. Anyway, we're just walking along this little river. I don't know if it's a river, but apparently this place was untouched by the Germans, and that's why there's so much old buildings and history, and the church survived even though it's made of wood. I think I mentioned that earlier, but apparently this tree line is the old kind of, it goes all the way along and down this road, and it's the old boundary. Yeah, so I only know this because some people did a walk-in tour and they told me. But if you kind of look through the car park as well over here, I think these rooftops, we'll have a look, we'll stop here and I'll zoom. You imagine with a little bit of snow on them, or it's just very, very quaint. Very quaint. Anyway, I think I've done enough filming for one day, so I'm going to put this away, and this will just be obviously on the end of my chat. So I'll say goodbye to you for now, and well, if I do manage to find yarn, I will show it to you, and I'll see you later. Bye bye for now.